I wanted to share an extremely strange incident that happened in the previous week. So, during one of my corporate session, I met a higher senior leadership person who I've been in contact from his previous company as well. So I have trained his previous company, which had a turnover of around 20 billions, and now he had started his own startup that was doing absolutely amazing and was thriving. And his company's turnover of like till fiscal year 31st of March was approx 18 million. That is quite brilliant for a startup. So as he already knew me from his previous employer, he contacted me, hey Shivalika, if you could train my employees. And yeah, we discussed something and everything went well. And later onwards, he contacted me and he wanted to talk to me something privately. So I waited. Maybe it could have been a feedback, maybe he wanted another training session. There were umpteenth scenarios were in my mind that okay, let's hear him. And to my surprise, I couldn't even guess what he asked me. He appreciated the training and everything, and when he directly came to the topic, he asked me, Shivalika, how do I hire more talent? I know my company is growing, it's doing absolutely wonderful, but I do want to hire more people, more talent, more resources that would help my company to reach at the boon which is right now in my mind. Who can make my company's vision into reality? And I was surprised. He's a very brilliant person to own a company that is doing that great. I didn't expect him to not know this very major misconception which he was going through. I used to think this is not that common, but to my surprise, yes, it is. So instead of major companies, if you are a person who just started his own company, if you're an HR, if you are a corporate small business, one of the biggest misconception these newbies have is how do they hire more talent instead of how do they build their talent to reach into peak. In my career journey, the number of corporate offices I have trained, one thing I know for sure that these large institutions do is their thinking process is how do we make more talent out of those people who we already have, rather how do we hire more talent. The misconception that most of these high performing companies find exceptional people everywhere. No, they don't. They just build their own people into exceptional resources. So these were the points that I informed the CEO and we had a quite well discussion. So it was in my mind I should also inform to the recruiters, the HR, the new companies, CEOs who don't have direct access to me. So today I'm going to discuss about those 3 points which I have observed in my entire career while training corporate people. The best companies, the high performer companies, don't wait for their employees to become leaders before investing in them. They spot potential early and start developing them before the promotion is on the table. Second, they know that their people don't leave company, they leave the managers. And that is why they invest heavily in their manager development, coaching, mentorship, and leadership. And these high performing companies invest in manager training pipeline, rather leadership vacancies. The organizations that consistently outperform their competitors have one thing in common. They don't just hire talents, they build systems that help them grow all together. Therefore, always think about before hiring more and more talent how you, as a small business, as a big corporate fish, as an individual business person, how you can improve your own talent. Companies always, the most happy employees, the most successful employees, the most satisfied employees hardly leave their company. And this is not a hidden concept. The more retain rate you have, the successful your company will be in long term. So think about it and let me know if I can help further. Thank you. Bye.